If you're not already ready for the holidays, get ready for the holidays with homemade, handmade ornaments.
There we go. Joining us now is Tess Poe. We have the owner of Beehive Sewing Studio in Northampton. You're going to help us make them. Scale of 1 to 10. How easy would you say this is?
0. That's how easy it is. It's so easy. So the technique that we're going to learn today in sewing is called fussy cutting. Fussy cutting. Everyone, I know you're very fussy, so everyone likes to fussy cut.
Wow.
All that means is we've got lots of different fabrics here that have some really interesting, bold, fun prints on them. When we fussy cut, we're just going to take one of the elements of our fabric and cut it out so that we can use it for another project.
Oh, it's kind of like picky cut. You're being picky.
You're being picky, yeah, exactly.
Picky
so,
cut.
Yes.
So all we're going to do for our Christmas ornaments is find some fun fabric, cut out a shape, and we've got a no-sew version and a sew version. So Seth, I think maybe you should do the no-sew version.
You get me, Tess Poe.
And I'll do the sewing version.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you a little example here. He's cutting out a little matrushka.
Now, when I'm fussy cutting, I can be a little rough around the edges?
You can, because what we're going to do on our no-sew version, we're going to be a little bit more precise. So this is a sample from this fabric right up here in front that's got these great little Christmas scenes on it. And I've gone around with pinking shears and I've just cut out 2 of those rectangles, and I've put some fusible interfacing, some thick fusible interfacing in between. So we've been more careful with this. This is our no-sew version.
And for people who aren't familiar, these are pinking shears, is that right?
These are pinking shears, and we know
only
because why? They say pinking shears right on the blade.
That's pretty much the reason I know.
And those are going to give us that nice little kind of up and down edge. It's going to prevent threads from falling off the fabric. All you're going to do in this no-sew version is we've fussy cut our design, we've cut out our interfacing. I'm going to cut a little bit of ribbon here, and you are just going to iron this all together. And I'm just going to use some ribbon for a little tag. So I'm just going to put a little piece of ribbon right in here. And we've got That's it. We've got a nice hot iron. Now,
that's my job?
That's your job.
Yes.
Now you're just going to keep these all together. Now remember, when you're working with fusible interfacing, the fusible part is a glue. It's an adhesive. So you're going to just want to be a little bit careful, making sure that you don't get that on your iron.
Okay.
In our sew version, Seth already cut out our little matrushka, our little doll here. And we're going to go ahead, I'm going to put a piece of muslin on the back. We're going to just sew all around the edge. We're just going to use her as a design. So all around the edge, and just leave a little gap so that we can put some stuffing in there and close it up. And we'll end up with a little ornament like this.
That is adorable.
I love that ornament. And
Isn't this sweet?
It reminds me of, and even this little kitty cat one you have right here, it reminds me of like more old-fashioned, kind of the way they used to make them. Everything you get now is, oh, there's a picture of it. There we go. Everything you get now is kind of, I feel like it's breakable. And I noticed that because I've had my kids break a lot. So I want ornaments that are stuffed and can also double as cat toys.
Well, and the nice thing about making your own ornaments like this is that you can stuff them with scraps of fabric. You can stuff them with some herbs and some rice, maybe a couple sticks of cinnamon. That's always a nice thing. Or some
lavender, maybe?
Or some lavender. You know, you can use all kinds of different things for stuffing. You don't necessarily just have to use batting. I've brought some batting here today, but as I say, that's not the only thing that you can use in your stuffing. So I'm just going around this little shape. It doesn't have to be perfect.
And I imagine, Tess, because I know you have something, it's a pin cushion that's very similar, but you could turn this easily into one of these that could sit in and around your home, is that right?
Absolutely. You can use it as a pin cushion, you can use it for a pattern weight if you're doing your sewing, all kinds of things. So what I've done here is sew all around our little shape. Once again, I'm going to take our pinking shears. We don't even have to turn this inside out. You could if you want to, but you can just take your pinking shears, cut around the edge. Now the other nice thing with a project like this is that if you don't have a machine, you sure can hand sew it. You don't have to do this on a machine. If you want to involve the kids and you want them to go ahead and get a little bit of practice with hand sewing, this is a terrific way of doing that.
And I think the more rustic it looks, the better. Then it really looks handmade. You don't want it to look too fancy. I messed up a little bit. I'm going to show this side because it doesn't match up.
Well, guess what? You can take your pinking shears and just snip it off, and then it's perfect.
Now,
it really is a 0 on a scale of 1
It
to 10.
really is a 0 on a 1 to 10.
Later in the show, Tess, we're going to make Christmas tree skirts. Now, you were telling us if we buy these in the store, it'd be upwards of $65.
It certainly could be. There are a lot of Christmas tree skirts that have fringe and lace and piping and edging. And you know, the skirt is just going to get covered up by, some gifts.
That's right, exactly. So don't spend a ton of money, make it yourself. Thanks so much, Tess.
Thank you.
We'll be back with you in just a bit.